A sharp crack splits the darkness. Not thunder, wood, massive wood under pressure. Tami Oldham tries to open her eyes. Salt water burns instantly. Her tongue tastes blood, thick, metallic. The deck beneath her lurches violently, throwing her shoulder against a splintered rail. For a moment, her brain refuses to understand what she's seeing. The mast is gone. The sail is gone. Half the rigging hangs loose, snapping in the wind. The yacht, the hazana, is barely recognizable. Everything smells wrong. Salt, fuel, wet fiberglass, and that sour, trapped smell of seawater inside a broken boat. Her vision swims. She lifts a shaking hand to her forehead. Her fingers slide into warm blood, a deep cut across her scalp. Her memory tries to catch up. Storm, wind screaming, waves rising like moving walls. And then, impact. After that, nothing. Time is missing. She forces herself upright. The world tilts. Her stomach twists. The Pacific stretches in every direction, endless, empty, indifferent. Then something colder hits her. Someone is missing. Her eyes scan the shattered deck, the cockpit, the hatch, the lifelines. Nothing. No movement, no voice, just wind and water. Richard was supposed to be here. He isn't. Tami Oldham Ashcraft is 23 years old. It's October 1983, somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Just hours ago, she and her fiancé, Richard Sharp, were sailing a 44-foot yacht across open water. Now the boat is destroyed. She is injured. And she is completely alone. Over the next 41 days, she will attempt something that should be impossible. Using only basic navigation tools and a broken sailboat, she will cross over 1,500 miles of open ocean to reach Hawaii. But right now, she doesn't know any of that. Right now, she only knows one thing. Richard is gone. And the storm that destroyed the hazana may not be finished yet. Because what she doesn't remember is how powerful that storm really was. 3 weeks earlier, everything looked simple. Tami Oldham and Richard Sharp were experienced sailors. They had spent months moving through the South Pacific, island to island, following trade winds across long stretches of calm blue water. So when a yacht owner offered them a job, it felt like an easy decision. Deliver a 44-foot sailboat, the hazana, from Tahiti to San Diego. A professional passage, a known route. Thousands of sailors had done it before. But the Pacific doesn't need chaos to create disaster. It only needs timing. The route would take them through open water during the early phase of hurricane season. Normally, storms are tracked days in advance. Weather reports, barometric pressure changes, radio warnings. But in 1983, forecasting in that region was limited. Satellite tracking was basic. Storms could grow faster than expected, and this one did. At first, it didn't seem serious. A developing tropical system far away. Just another disturbance in the Pacific. Something to monitor, not something to fear. But hurricanes in open ocean behave differently. There's no land to weaken them. They feed continuously on warm water. Wind speeds climb. Pressure drops. Wave height increases rapidly. Within days, the storm strengthened. Faster than predicted. Stronger than expected. By the time Tami and Richard realized what was happening, the situation had changed completely. The storm behind them was no longer manageable. It had become a Category 4 hurricane. Wind speeds exceeding 130 miles per hour. Waves powerful enough to destroy a sailboat. And they were already too far from land to escape it. Out there, distance becomes a trap. Turning back costs time. Continuing forward costs time. and storms close distance faster than boats can. The Pacific had already made the decision for them. The storm was moving directly toward their path. There would be no easy avoidance, no safe detour, only impact. And in the open ocean, there are no warning sirens, no shelter, just a horizon that slowly changes color and then disappears behind something larger. Because in a few minutes, one wave is going to hit the hazana with enough force to erase everything they thought they controlled. The first thing that changes is the sound. Not louder, heavier. The wind stops feeling like air and becomes pressure. Something solid pressing against the boat from every direction. The rigging begins to vibrate. A high, strained sound, like metal stretched too far. Richard is on deck, clipped in, shouting something she can't hear. His voice disappears into the storm. Tami is below deck for a moment, just a moment, trying to secure loose equipment. Then the boat shudders. A deep impact from below. Everything jumps. Cabin doors slam open. Loose objects explode across the room. The air fills with a sharp chemical smell. Fuel. The hull is flexing. The structure is taking stress it wasn't meant to handle. She grabs the table, trying to hold herself in place. Her hands slip. The floor tilts again, but this time, it doesn't stop. Above her, something cracks. Slow at first, then louder. The mast. Not snapping instantly, bending, straining, then breaking. The sound is violent, final. The boat lurches sideways as a wave lifts it and slams it down. Hard. This is the splat. A 44-foot vessel hits moving water like solid ground, and everything inside it keeps going. Her stomach rises. Her balance disappears. Up becomes sideways. Sideways becomes down. The lights cut out. Darkness. Total. The mast collapses, dragging rigging with it. Lines whip across the deck with uncontrolled force. Metal fittings tear loose. The boat groans under pressure, every movement sounding like it might be the last. Tami tries to move toward the exit. She crawls because standing is impossible. The floor shifts too violently. Every attempt forward is pushed back. Something slams into her ribs. Pain takes her breath away. Then another impact. From the side, a full wall of water crashes into the hull. The boat tilts farther than it should survive. For a brief moment, everything feels weightless. Then gravity returns. Hard. She is thrown forward. Her head slams into solid structure. The impact flashes white across her vision. Sound disappears. Only a dull ringing remains. Her body stops responding. Somewhere above, Richard is still there. Still moving. Still fighting. But she can't see him. She can't reach him. Her world is fading. The last thing she feels is the boat rolling again, pushed beyond control. And outside, another wave rises higher than the last. As it comes down, Tami is already gone, unconscious. And in the next moment, she will never witness. The ocean takes Richard from the deck. When Tami Oldham finally wakes up, the storm is gone. Not fading. Gone. The Pacific has returned to calm, slow swells lifting the damaged hazana as if nothing happened. For several seconds, she doesn't move. The silence feels wrong. Her head pulses with pain. Every heartbeat sends pressure through her skull. When she tries to sit up, the world tilts. Her vision splits. She tastes blood immediately. The cut across her scalp has hardened into her hair, but when she touches it, it opens again. Warm liquid slides behind her ear. Then the smell hits. Salt water soaked into fiberglass. Fuel, wet rope, and something else. Rot. She forces herself to stand. The deck is destroyed. The mast is gone, the sail shredded, rigging hangs loose into the ocean. And Richard? Nowhere. She searches again, then again. Nothing. The ocean answers with silence. That's when it becomes real. He's gone. Now the problem becomes simple. No mast means no movement. No movement means no land. Unless she fixes it. Shock turns grief into action. She moves through the wreck, checking what survived. Navigation tools, charts, supplies, and water. Fresh water is stored deep inside the cabin. Some containers burst during the storm. Others survived. She opens one, drinks too fast. Warm, stale, but life. Without it, she wouldn't last a day. But water doesn't move a boat. The sail is the problem. The hazana still has a storm jib, a smaller sail designed for extreme wind. Not enough for full travel, but enough to try. She climbs the broken rigging. Every movement hurts. Her balance is unstable. Her head injury distorts her sense of direction. Twice she nearly falls. Eventually, she builds something. Crude, unstable, but functional. The boat begins to move, slowly, very slowly. Her destination is Hawaii, over 1,500 miles away. Food becomes the next issue. Much of it is damaged, some contaminated. She eats what she can. Cold, canned food. Sweet syrup that tastes wrong. Calories matter more than comfort. The body is already burning through reserves. Weakness follows quickly. Days begin to blur. The ocean becomes endless. Sun burns her skin. Salt creates sores. Nights bring cold. Sleep comes in short fragments. Then the mind starts to shift. At first, small things. Shadows, movement, then voices. Richard's voice, clear, close, sometimes guiding, sometimes just there. She knows it isn't real, but logic doesn't matter anymore. Emotion does. So she talks back, because being alone is worse. Routine becomes survival. Drink, adjust sail, navigate, eat, repeat. Days turn into weeks. The boat moves slowly across open ocean. And one morning, she sees something on the horizon. Not a wave, not a cloud. Something solid. Land. Or at least, she hopes it is. Because after everything she's survived, the final stretch might still take everything she has left. At first, Tami doesn't trust what she's seeing. For 41 days, the Pacific has played tricks on her eyes. Clouds looked like land. Moonlight looked like shoreline. But this time, the shape doesn't disappear. It grows. Dark, solid, real. The hazana drifts closer, slowly. The outline becomes clearer. Green slopes, harbor structures, a breakwater cutting through the water. Land, Hawaii. The boat barely resembles what left Tahiti weeks earlier. The mast is gone. Rigging hangs loose. Salt covers every surface. And standing inside it is someone who barely resembles the person who began the journey. Tami has lost weight. Her face is hollow. Her skin burned and peeling. Salt sores line her body. The wound on her head has closed unevenly, the skin swollen and raw. When she steps onto the dock, her legs shake. Not dramatically, just enough to remind her how much strength is gone. People approach. Voices ask questions, but for a moment, she doesn't answer. Because part of her is still out there, on the ocean, where Richard stood. Survival stories often end with relief, but real survival feels different. Sometimes surviving only means one thing. You came back, and someone else didn't. Tami Oldham Ashcraft crossed over 1,500 miles of open Pacific alone. She navigated with basic tools, survived dehydration, injury, and isolation. But survival came with a cost. Because the ocean didn't just test her ability to live. It took the person who was supposed to share that life with her. And that's the part most people don't see. Nature doesn't choose who survives. It doesn't care who is prepared, or strong, or in love. Sometimes survival is just refusal. Refusal to stop. Refusal to give up. Refusal to disappear. And that's what carried her across the Pacific. Not strength, not control, just the decision to keep going. One more hour, one more day, until land finally appeared, and the impossible became real. Before you go, like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Because here, we don't tell stories. We relive real survival moments where instinct, fear, and time decide everything.